With Aldrin Sampear. Aldrin, are you ready now? Are you there?
Well, good morning, Evan. Certainly ready for you. And I'm standing right here at the election house in Centurion, where the IEC will be making that all-important draw, considering which party will be right on top of all the ballot papers come August the 3rd when we cast our votes. And right now I'm standing right next to this beautiful mosaic of the country. As you can see, I'm trying to channel my inner Tsiete Monare. As you can see right here, the density over here. This is where we're at right here in Centurion, the IEC house, where the draw is supposed to be taking place. And I was saying earlier on that it's partly cloudy right now. But tell you what, it will be sunny after the draw has taken place. And right now, I'm going to be joined by the Deputy CEO of the IEC, Mr Sy Mamabolo. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. This must be a great moment for you guys. I was speaking earlier on to the spokesperson of the IEC as well, and she was saying that it's quite an exciting moment for the IEC.
Well, we are elated that we're going to register yet another milestone in the preparations for the election. The draw is important in that it shows the transparency of the process, that no one has been given an advantage. We will do the draw, and that draw will indicate the sequence of parties on the proportional representation ballots for all municipalities in the country.
Well, some of the concerns that have been raised by different political parties, specifically the ANC, also just ahead of the 2014 elections, was the issue around the AIC, the African Independent Congress, as well as the African National Congress being right next to each other. And the concern was that it could have confused the different voters or the electorate. The IEC then went to Parliament and said that they're trying to rectify that, but it seems as though that process still remains.
Well, it does still remain. We hope that at least in certain municipalities there may be an intervening party between those, the IEC and the ANC, but that is a matter that we can only resolve sometime in the future. As for today, all the 204 parties that have successfully submitted documents will be in the pot, and one that comes out top will be the one that we use to allocate the sequence on ballot papers.
Would the IEC then concede that it would disadvantage some political parties if they have similar names or acronyms that probably sound the same and colors that probably resemble the same as another party?
Well, the law is such that the Chief Electoral Officer should not really register a party which resembles a name or abbreviated name or the symbols of an already registered party. So care has been taken to avoid those occurrences. And we hope that those have been sufficiently mitigated for this election.
And today when the draw takes place and we've got all these different provinces, you've got all these different areas where you have political parties who are not contesting the entire elections or in every ward, like you have the ANC, the EFF as well as the DA, which said that they're contesting all the different wards. You might have a party that's only contesting, let's say, sections of the Northern Cape. When this draw takes place, does it take that into consideration as well? That you might have a party which you draw as the first party that will be on the top of the list, but that party doesn't contest nationally. It is only contesting in the Northern Cape.
You are correct. That there may be a party that only contests one municipality, and it will be in the draw. We will use the sequence that follows that party, however, for the rest of the country. They will not necessarily be on all ballot papers throughout the country because they are contesting just the one municipality.
So for the rest of the other ballot papers, it will be the alphabetical order?
All ballots for PR will be alphabetical from the party that has been drawn today. So the alphabetical ordering will follow the party that has been drawn. In other words, if it's Z, the first party will be a Z, another Z, then we go from A, B, C, D, just like that.
Okay, let's speak quickly about independent candidates. This process right here only focuses on political parties that are contesting the elections, but we know, of course, that independent candidates will also be contesting these municipal elections. Why are they being sidelined when it comes to something as great as this?
No, they're not being sidelined. Today's process relates to the sequence of political parties on the proportional representation ballots only. The ward ballots, we will purely decide the sequence based on the alphabetical names of the candidates, and that will include independents.
Finally, process from here, what happens going forward?
We have invited all parties, 204 of them. They'll start trickling in, and at 10 will commence. The vice chairperson will give a little background to the proceedings, whereafter we will do the draw. And we will display at least the 8 ballots of the metropolitan municipalities, the PR component thereof.
And just quickly before I let you go, the Constitutional Court ruling, we're still waiting for a ruling with regards to this, and now we have another constitutional case with regards to the Bhuwani issue. How does the IEC feel that the elections would go forward or not?
Well, we are waiting quite anxiously for the decision of the court. We as the Electoral Commission, we will have to implement the orders of court, whatever those orders are. So, we are anxiously waiting, but I think we must give the court the space to do its work. And whenever they are ready, I'm sure they will issue their judgment.
Well, Eben, yes, many political parties as well as those independent candidates who will be contesting these elections will be watching very closely that process, as well as the Constitutional Court order that we are expecting. And remember that the elections are set to take place August the 3rd. There have been some murmurs and some people arguing that the elections might not go ahead, but the IEC said that all election machinery are in gear. And as you can see, today's process really confirms that all its machinery as well as the process heading up to the elections are on set.
Very much. We'll be back with you a little bit later for the draw itself. That's our man, Aldrin Sampear, talking to the IEC. Of course, he's at the IEC headquarters here in the northern Gauteng area. He'll give us the ballot box draw is what they call it, shortly after 10 o'clock this morning.